All right, welcome to the Unnamed Cybersecurity Podcast. Carl is no longer with us. No, he's still alive.
Well, he's alive. He's just on this podcast.
He's not on this podcast anymore. Kind of a joke in there.
Guys.
Oh yeah, Happy New Year! I haven't seen you in a year.
But I think Chris was trying for a segue there, which I get.
Yeah,
he's not dead.
Yeah, so it's a bad segue. It's a terrible segue. Today we want to talk about. Well, one, how was your holidays? You guys good? Good holidays?
Good.
Family?
Good. I'm in the fetal position over here because this was the kids' first day back after like 17 days off nonstop, and it's a snow day.
So, it's not first day back then if it's a snow day.
It's not the first day back, so we got a bonus day with them. And
there you
so
go.
If you see kids come covered in screaming with snow, that's why. So mine's not over.
Surprised you didn't try and do a virtual remote day. Welcome back. You're on camera.
We would have been at the administration building with pitchforks and they knew it. Like, no way. Not happening.
My grandma's 98. So she had a little bit of a thing we had to take care of. I went up and visited her. She met my dog for the first time. Took Riley up there. Yeah, she wanted to meet him. So drove Riley up there. He was a very sweet boy with her. It was super cool. I wish more people were open to bringing dogs. Some people just aren't. So
yeah.
We spent so many hours training him that it's like they're like, oh, your dog is so well behaved. Yeah, I know. We spent thousands of hours training him. It's funny how that works. Yeah. Yeah, it was overall good. I got to think about a lot of things. Unfortunately, I had something not bad happen to me, but like somebody I used to work with passed away at the age of 43 on December 16th. So
wow.
Yeah, terrible situation. So I wanted to pay. There's some family struggles there because he was young. So kind of want to pay homage to that a little bit, but then talk about like what happens when somebody dies young and how like we can tie that back into business and business continuity, because like family continuity is so important. And just some of the struggles I never thought about, just hearing about some of the struggles that his wife was going through and stuff like that. And I'm not getting into specifics about this, but let's just think. Let's have a talk through this situation. When you pass away, and I don't know, let's say you do all the finances in the company, in the family. What happens if you didn't write any of that down? What happens? Today we have passwords everywhere. Like, do you share passwords with your spouse? Well, not you, Matt. Not anymore. Sorry.
Not anymore.
Speaking of dead. Anyway,
wow.
Oh, wow. That's pretty funny.
To your point,
yeah.
I did. And there was a plan there. Should I pass? Now that plan has changed over to my brother. So should I pass, he gets access to certain things that will lead to what he needs to know to help manage my estate, yada, yada, yada. I'm also 43. I'm not planning on dying any day.
So was the guy I'm talking about.
But I don't want my family picking up the pieces and wondering what's where and all that.
Well, and then we all own businesses, right? So I'm assuming people listening out there have businesses. What about your business? What happens? Do you have a plan in place for that?
One of the clients we had, the main IT contact there had a book sitting in his desk, and literally on the cover it said, "In case I die."
One of our customers has a book like that for one of their employees that says, "In case insert name here gets hit by a bus," which is
sounds like a key employee book.
Yeah, sounds like something like a big corporation would take out a life insurance policy for that person for, and then take the money.
Money's great. They still got to keep running.
I might get banned by the company if I mention the name that does that to their employees. Anyway, so it's important to understand that, like, so we have business continuity where we want to make sure that our business continues if there's a disaster, right? Nothing's worse than an owner dying, a key person in the business dying. So like planning for that is like incredibly important. It could be a leadership structure change. How does a business keep operating? Is there a board of directors? Do you have an advisory board? I mean, if the person, I had another friend, his friend was the CEO and the visionary of a company, and he passed last year. And they struggled to find another CEO that could fit that visionary role because he was the visionary for everything. So,
Well, we saw that a couple years ago with somebody in the IT space. Remember?
oh yeah,
Um, Meaning the wife stepped in and took over a lot of it, but she was not active in the business up front. But I know it was a struggle for them to really figure out and find everything and keep going.
Yeah.
you just think about like what we do, like just from a personal standpoint, right? Talk about finances, um, passwords. Like if one spouse like takes care of the kids all the time and has all that stuff like in their mind and it's not written down, what happens? It's absolute chaos. And unfortunately, like from a personal standpoint, life insurance obviously very important. Um, I've had a trust like we were talking before. Angie and I've had a trust, I don't know, for like 14 years, something like that, maybe a little longer than that. That dictates like where the business would go, like who would like. Now, do I have everything documented of how that would operate? Nope. I'll fully admit that because I'm not planning on dying tomorrow. But
He's
kind
with your
of
friend.
brought it up. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's something
It's a
that we
lot
just got
better
to
than
think
nothing,
about.
I'm sure.
Yeah, but we still got to think about that. So there's key man insurance and stuff like that. But like Bob, what you said, just because you get money doesn't mean it's going to help you from a business standpoint. But so let's cover. I got a few things I'd like to just talk about from a family perspective. We can talk about business. Business continuity is important too. But if you don't have a will or a trust or some sort of testament, please go out there and make one. They don't have to be expensive. They don't have to be elaborate, but please go out there and do that.
It'll make life
Document
so
all your
much easier for your heirs.
yeah
But yeah,
yeah
not your life, their life. That's what we're helping here.
yeah. We're trying to make sure that the family is really well off.
Mhm.
Document all your passwords. If it's a password manager that
Family
you share with your
member,
spouse, yeah. Sorry.
yeah, if a family member dies, they're going to be dealing with enough to not want to dig through every filing cabinet, look under every keyboard. And that's where a lot of password managers and other systems even have systems in place where they can request access to it. And if you don't deny that request for a certain amount of time, they can gain it. So there's all kinds of secure ways to, once you pass, have your keys to the kingdom handed over, so to speak. And obviously, I won't share all of my details on here, but there's a plan in place. Should I get hit by a bus, some trusted people get access, and everything is taken care of, I hope, eventually.
Well, and like something simple like in Apple's world, you can make a legacy contact so
Mm-hmm.
that it
That's
follows
right.
you if you pass. There's
Yeah.
beneficiaries on anything that you have financial things like that. Like things are super important. Make an advanced directive. Like write down the directive. Like how do you want things handled? Have a central repository for important paperwork. That's a critical one.
Sure.
Like go get a safety deposit box and put really important stuff in it and make sure that you and your spouse or somebody in the family, whatever decision you make for whoever's going to have access to that, make sure that that's all there. um Create a financial plan, I guess, would be something. I don't know, I'm just kind of spitballing ideas here because it's chaos when somebody dies
Well,
and they have kids.
is it really that different than planning for a business? In a scenario where it can't operate, it's like, okay, if I'm not here, what do
Yeah,
others need to pass off roles and access to things and know what assets are where?
yeah.
You know,
Unfortunately, accidents happen, but I just wanted to kind of cover some of those things today. um like I said, I've been thinking about it too. I had some investment accounts. I wasn't sure if I'd had Angie on and stuff like that. I Not that I want to think like that, but it's like it kind of put in perspective for me. Like I need to make sure that I have everything documented, centralized, and we kind of go through the password thing. We share passwords and things like that in a password manager, secure way. But do I have all the passwords shared? No. So now I get to think about that. But my condolences to the family, um, to the people that are involved in that. I don't want to drop names; it's not important. But
Yeah, no names needed.
people that see this that know me know, you'll know who you are. Um, just keep moving forward. I know it's tough, but So sorry for the somber attitude today, but it's just been weighing on me a little bit. So, but I figure this is a good thing to bring up because New Year, things that we have to think about. Unfortunately,
New Year,
not everything in
make
life
sure
is
you gotta,
rosy.
make sure you got a plan for your family first, business second, and
Happy New
it's just-
Year.
well, it's a happy New Year for
Have
your
to break
kids.
the ice a little bit.
No.
Come on.
All right. Did you? Okay. Let's move past the somber part. Did you guys see the other people that were hit by Salt Typhoon? This is the attack where the Chinese got access to like U.S. telecoms. We talked about.
Yep.
Apparently they got into Charter, Windstream, and Consolidated Communications as well. This list just keeps growing.
Yeah.
It's so bad that they're not sure that they can guarantee that they're out completely.
They've gotten good. Like China was not exactly a, hacker haven 15 years ago. They've gotten good.
But we talked about business continuity a little bit today. There's something to learn from this. The way they got in was Cisco routers that weren't patched, Fortinet firewalls that weren't patched, vulnerabilities that existed that people didn't, I don't want to say got lazy on, but they didn't update them. They didn't deploy.
So
fixes
Chris,
when they
there were
should've.
patches available that weren't applied.
Yeah. From what it looks like, it doesn't look like some of these may have been from unknown ones from 0 days, but that's how looks like they gained access. We don't know the timelines. We may never know the timelines because they may not ever show this publicly, but it looks like from people that are close to it, and the Wall Street Journal kind of reported on this too, is software vulnerabilities in hardware was really what allowed them to get into where they got into.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, there's gonna be a lot of fallout from this because they got access to a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have got access to. Yeah, but again, we harp on this all the time. We talk about this all the time. Vulnerabilities are something that you really want to make sure you have a management program inside your business. Make sure you're covering this stuff. The quicker you can patch, the better. Is it perfect? No. Is it the right thing to do? Yes. Yeah, we'll see.
Being perfect every time.
Dan Martell's 80. What is it? Dan Martell's something.
His is funnier. I forget his version.
Yeah, it's like 80% done by somebody else is 100% freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Like
I don't think
that.
he says freaking, but it's along those lines. Yeah.
On the PC stuff on the internet, he says freaking.
Okay. In person, he did not say freaking.
When I'm watching the Lions game, and them beating on Minnesota, I say something different, but that's a different story. Shout out to Minnesota, by the way. That one must hurt. Anyway, go Lions. Something to just remember, vulnerabilities are something to patch. We need to take care of that. It's a new year. Have a plan. If you want to talk more about business continuity, let us know. We can kind of dive into it if you want to deep dive. Just let us know if that's something you'd be interested in. And
I think what I got on the schedule for next week is shared responsibilities.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, that's actually going to be a good one, I think.
That's a teaser of all teasers.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't come back next week for shared responsibility model, what are you doing?
Exactly.
It's like the season just got renewed right there.
Oh man, my birthday's in a few weeks too, but that's a different story. All right.
Happy
you guys.
All
right, guys. I will see you next week.
Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year. See you next week.
See you next week.